Hi everyone, and welcome to spring, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like the video, and I'd always appreciate it if you remember to subscribe. Today, Bethany and I are out getting some dirt ready for some seed planting. All the little kids got some seeds in their Easter baskets from the Easter Bunny for growing some perennial flowers. It's always a nice thing to do, and it's a nice little homeschool lesson. Whether your kids go to public school or not, it's a great learning experience. So I was cutting up some potatoes today, and I thought we need to get our garden planned out. So Bethany and I are out here. We got some compost from the barn.
Yep.
Plenty of compost on the farm. You don't have to go buy it.
Yep.
If you live near a farmer, or if you live near anybody with chickens or bunnies, I'm sure that they have extra to spare, and they will probably give it to you for free. Old spent hay and straw is a great thing for gardens too, so always remember to ask them if they have any of that. So old hay and straw is excellent for weed suppression as the season goes on. It's excellent for trying to plant and have hay bale or straw bale gardens also. So let me show you what we've got going on today. So being thrifty and frugal, we always use what we have on hand. We are making dirt. We have got my Chappelle jet sled, and the wheelbarrow is getting used right now for cleaning out the chicken coop. So we're putting this to use. I have got a layer of compost in the bottom, and you can see Miss Bethy here, who is 5 years old, is using her garden hoe to do some mixing. We have got some organic vermiculite to help so that we don't get compaction from all the different soils getting mixed together. We've got some Pro Mix that we picked up at Menards last year that we had used for some potted planting, and some peat moss. And I like to use a little bit of peat moss for that also. I do find with these two products here that I do need to make sure that I use plenty of water in all of my plantings so they don't get dried out, because it doesn't really retain soil. So a good amount of compost mixed in will help with that. So we have dug down to the very bottom of a cow pen that was in the barn and not used for about 2 years. So you can see some of it is dried out and some of it was very nice fine dirt. This can help replace the use of anything like the vermiculite and the peat moss, but I do like to have a good all-purpose mix, and I use this for everything. We do some seed starting, we do some potted flowers around, and last year I even did a little bit of potted gardening on the deck. And you can even mix this compost into your garden. So see, like that's a little more matted and dry. Now it's really good, I think, to give this a nice misting of water once it's all mixed. And then fill up your seed pots so that you're not just turning a floating soil. A lot of this stuff will just float right up when it's in water. So I think it's good to give it a good mist like this when you're mixing it. So Bethany and I are going to get the hose out, and we're going to give this a light mixing and misting. What do you think about that?
Good.
Bethany always likes to use the garden tools. She likes to use the hose, and everything gets washed and wet, right? So here's our nice mixed up batch of potting medium. We are working on the deck today to get this ready. We have a deck that is the most full sun you could imagine, and this bright white siding is blinding. I actually started a greenhouse on the deck last year, and when I worked on getting it built, of course, the plastic cover that went over the top would not go on. It was not a great design. Shelter Logic was challenging me on that one. So, hey, you got a chunk of dirt. Yes, yes, Georgie says it's mine. Don't plant it. So we're going through and pulling out, this looks like an owl pellet. I left all of my marigolds here from last year. Hi, Bethany. If you saw at the beginning of the video, she has shed her winter clothes because she was too warm. It is way too sunny for what she had on. But this is what we've got going on. I've got these pots, and no, I didn't put them away this year. I am a busy mom, and the season of my life right now is kind of get by from day to day. If things don't get done, it's not a huge deal. So I don't want this moss in there. And I had tried to save my strawberries last year and put them in here. But they just didn't take. They didn't do well. I have not been a great strawberry farmer. I wish I could do better with them. But you know what? Fortunately, we are not in a society that we can't go to the grocery store and get what we need. And with having a new baby, I had my challenges just taking care of him and the family. So just like that, see, I've gone through and scratched that up, loosened it up a little bit. Not real deep, but it's not as dry as I would like, and I'm wondering if I don't have the holes punched out in the bottom. But that wouldn't make sense, would it? So you can see here, this is all filled in. Little moss is okay. Here we go. A couple more of those little strawberries I missed. Little bitty strawberries. But you can see I've got a whole row here. So I'm going to go through, have little Missy get her hands dirty and help me out. George has joined us. And Trey is chomping at the bit for me to go pull start his mower for him. So I'm going to go help him with that.
What do you mean by go? It's right here.
Okay. What's the problem?
I think it's just got a little hot or something.
Okay. Well, let's see what's going on. Make sure everything's okay. We had a little trouble starting out our day, or our season, with all the vibration. His oil dipstick and fill tube had lost its set screw, so we had to take off the fuel tank, clean up the oil spill, and put it back together. And then we forgot about the little gasket that was there, so we had to do it again. And he just got into some tall grass and it stalled out. We're hoping that's all it is. This is a like $35 Craigslist buy from at least, well, when Bethany was a baby, I had already owned it at least 7 years ago. So pretty good deal. Still going. And if you're interested in tune-ups on your spring mowing, I have a tune-up video on this from a couple of years ago. All right. You hold this for me and I'll do a full start?
Sure.
Okay. He was absolutely a panic because he'd had that trouble with the oil coming out, so we had to refill oil. He thought it shut down on its own because it ran out of oil. Nothing sounded out of place to me from where I was in earshot, but this guy is 8 years old and he wants to mow. He just is the best worker in the world. He had been doing this all with a reel mower, you know, the old style R-E-E-L mower, just here and there all over the place in between us mowing. So, oh, you got cold, huh? Put back together? Okay, let's go do some more dirt. As you can see, our deck still needs lots of work. We're not big deck people. Hi, and we get so much wind that our table set always ends up having cushions blown away, or the wind catches the umbrella and carries it away. And you know what? They get expensive, so it gets bleached out from the sun tremendously, no matter what color I get, and the fabric gets real weak. So, Miss Bethany, come get your hands dirty. Yeah? Come on, Missy. We have a really nice canopied gazebo for our deck that we have never bothered to put up. And I really think it would be hard for me to put it up knowing that that canopy is going to get such wear and tear out here. And oh my, this deck's just not worth it to me. There you go. Georgie, come on back. He's going to see about the mower. I gotta go catch him. Fill it right up, okay? Come on. So tell me what kind of seeds you got in your Easter basket.
I forgot which one I got. I don't even know what name I know.
Well, we got some delphiniums, I think.
Yeah, I think mine were delphiniums.
And daisies.
Yep, daisies.
And foxglove.
Foxglove.
Maybe some Shasta daisies. Maybe. Good job.
We got silver princess.
Fill it all the way up, okay?
Got it.
Because when we add water... Yeah. What's she doing?
Yeah.
That's your Beppy. Yeah. So I think kids really like gardening. And whether or not you really like to garden or not, good job. I think that it is a good experience to even just grow a couple of tomatoes in a pot for the kids to understand the growing process and that food and flowers come from seed and that the plant produces its own seed. So we always use this as a learning experience in our homeschooling, and the big kids have already gone all through it. Yeah. Good job. Even George wants to help. So you can have kids of all ages helping you do this. That's right, everyone in the family can help. What are we gonna grow in those? Maybe just some flowers?
Yeah, flowers.
Okay.
That one.
Okay. Mix in some dirt. That's right. Yeah. Now keep in mind that they are learning and that this can be messy. So this is why we're doing this outside. Are you saying hi? You see your brother out there? He's out there mowing somewhere. Yeah. So we'll be doing our vegetable seeds starting soon, and maybe we will document that whole in a video series for gardening so that you guys can all follow along to see how things are going. Sometimes life gets busy and we don't always get to everything that we want to do. Where are you going? You're making us dizzy. Yeah, but just keep in mind that, you know, be patient. And you are growing your next generation of gardeners and possibly even your next generation of farmers. So my little darlings decided to get out my garden hose reel for me. And this is the old one that I used to use with my 5/8 inch hose. They're really great for watering your garden, and I highly recommend having one because it is so much better than having to reel in your hose by hand day after day. I don't like to leave the hose out in the sun because all these little rubber gaskets that are up in here and the PVC or the rubber in the hose gets brittle, whatever it's made of, and they tend to crack and split, and then people drive over them because they don't know they're there or they just disregard it. So if your rubber gaskets do get dried out, you can get replacements. This was a 10-pack that I picked up from Green Thumb, and this was $1.19 when I bought it, and I have not used probably half of them during that time. But there is a rubber gasket here on the end of the fitting here that goes into the hose. There's one up in here where the hose goes, and so if you don't have that and you're concerned about conserving water, it will be a problem, I guarantee you. So some of the spring maintenance with gardening, we need to get this stuff out and get it ready. And the mystery of today's project, one of my kids took blue duct tape all over the outside of this, and I think there might be a rubber gasket underneath this Phillips head screw. So we're going to try that out and see where any issues might be, because it seems to me it was dribbling and not spraying so well. Earwigs like to get in here, and last year I had a bunch of dead earwigs in there, and I knew it wasn't spraying well then. So we have our starter hose, and you can pick this up at Menards. They have these in a short section up to about 5 feet. They sell these in the garden center, but they're also sold for draining your hot water heater. So I don't want to throw my garbage out around on my farm. Not at all. So we're just going to get this gasket in there, line up our hose, and tighten that nut. Sometimes it's just easier to bring the work to you than for you to try to get down low and get down to the work. So I will tell you, some of my tires need air. So we're going to be taking this over to the shop, giving it a good going over because it is in need of it. This has gotten a little brittle from sitting around for a while. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it. So I'm going to go get a screwdriver to push that down in there, and I'll get back with you in a minute. Well, unfortunately, I see why the water was dripping this year, is this got left out, and right where those Phillips head screws are, there are cracks. So the water is leaking through there, and I'm going to need a new sprayer. So not a big deal. We're running out to get a few things today, and I need water softener salt. So that's going to be a trip to Menards to pick up some water softener salt and a new sprayer. Well, that's it. My kiddos all had to quit for some lunch and a nap, and we didn't make it back out. So it's the next day. It's a lot sunnier, nicer day. I'm going to follow up all the rest of the seed planting while they're having their nap today so that it gets done. Because little kids don't have the total concentration to stick to a job from start to finish so much. If I waited out for them, it would probably take the whole week to get all these pots planted. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.